Here are some lessons from what's happening with Min Hee Jin. If you're young and just started working in the corporate world, these lessons are for you. Let me put a disclaimer though that I myself found these rules difficult to follow, and that's why I struggled so much when I was working for large corporations. Also, I'm not a legal expert at all. 1. Remember that you're always being watched. Min Hee Jin seemed to take offense that she was being audited at Hybe, but that's honestly not something new. If you're a call center agent, your calls are recorded and routinely evaluated by quality assurance. If you're in healthcare, your documentation is reviewed by the people working on the next shift, by other members of the team, by managers evaluating the quality of care, and by lawyers even years into the future if there's a complaint or other issue. You'll have cameras on your work areas 24/7 too. If you're part of upper management and your decisions can affect the amount of money the company makes, possibly in the millions of dollars, it just makes sense that you'll be monitored closely as well. 2. Keep your receipts. I think Min Hee Jin was very smart in keeping records of her conversations with other Hybe executives. It's good to keep records of emails that show you resolved issues or that prove you escalated them appropriately to your bosses. So they can't pretend you never told them. Likewise, keep documentation of any harassment, when you reported to HR, and what, if anything, they did as a response. Even if you have smooth interactions with your coworkers, it's good to keep track of your own work. I found this very hard because it often felt like I was living the same day over and over, but such records would have made it easier for me to prove my accomplishments and the value I was bringing to the company. 3. Expect opposition. It's common knowledge by now that many CEOs and executives have personality disorders, such as psychopathy or narcissism. I'm not saying that's the case here, by the way. A simple way to think of it is that your boss was put in charge, in large part, because they wanted to be. They're ambitious and competitive. I believe Min Hee Jin is good at her job because why else would Hybe take her even after she left SM? If you're good at your job, you will also be seen as a threat. Rule number 1 in Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power is never outshine the master. At some point, your performance and contribution to the company will be overshadowed by the fact that you make your bosses feel insecure. More in part 2.